This is Matthew Walker, the #1 sleeping expert.
Matthew Walker.
Matthew Walker.
Matthew Walker.
Through his research at the University of California, Berkeley, and his best-selling book, Why We Sleep, he has become the go-to expert on sleep science for living a healthy and productive life. And this is me. Well, I don't think I have the worst habits. Lately, I've been feeling so tired, less energy throughout the day, losing time in unhealthy habits, and an inability to be very productive. So in the next 7 days, I'm gonna be trying Matthew Walker's science-backed sleeping method to see if it can bring me back to be more productive and energized. My goal is to have enough energy after my 9-to-5 job to be able to exercise 3 times a week, work on YouTube 3 times a week, and after all that, be able to be with loved ones without feeling too tired to enjoy it. But what is Matthew Walker's sleeping method?
6 scientifically grounded tips for better sleep. The first tip is regularity. Go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. The next tip is temperature. Keep it cool. You will always find it easier to fall asleep in a room that's too cold than too hot. The next tip is darkness. In the last hour before bed, try to stay away from all of those computer screens and tablets and phones. Dim down half the lights in your house. The next tip is walk it out. Don't stay in bed awake for long periods of time. And the general rule of thumb is if you've been trying to fall asleep and it's been 25 minutes or so, the recommendation is to get out of bed and go and do something different. Alcohol and caffeine. So a good rule of thumb here is to try to stay away from caffeine in the afternoon and in the evening, and certainly try not to go to bed too tipsy. Have a wind down routine in the last 20 minutes before bed, or the last half an hour, or even the last hour. Disengage from your computer and your phone and try to do something relaxing. We can think of sleep almost like a life support system. In fact, some may even call sleep a superpower.
On day 1, I'm so tempted to snooze the alarm as I usually do. However, to help me wake up, I set up my light to turn on at the same time as the alarm, which helps. I'm not gonna lie, at first I don't feel like waking up at all, but I push through because I'm so curious to see at the end of the week if I'm more used to this. After I have my coffee, I head to the office, and I work pretty productively all day. Alright, I just came back from the office. It's around 6 p.m. and as I usually do after work, I feel pretty tired. But I don't want to rely on how I'm feeling right now. It's just day 1 of the challenge. So instead, I have 3 methods to track my progress. The first one is by tracking my energy level, how I feel every day. I've been doing this for the last 5 days or so before the challenge, just to see how it changed after I implement the tips from Matthew. Another way for me to track my progress is to see how many times I exercise. My goal was 3 times a week, and how many times I can work on YouTube after work. My goal again was 3 times a week. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes as well. Finally, to track my sleep quality, I will use my Apple Watch. I want to see the average number of hours I sleep per night, and also what is the number of minutes that I spend on deep sleep. Today, between working on YouTube or exercising, since my energy is quite low, I'll try to work on YouTube instead and save my energy for a day where I feel more keen to exercise instead. At the end, I spent around an hour working on YouTube. I'm pretty happy with that. I was not super productive, to be honest, but at least I spent an hour. Finally, I'm quite tired, so I want to disconnect, and I don't really have the energy to spend time with my loved ones, unfortunately. So this is a fail for today, but let's see how the next days go. Day 3 of the challenge. I have to be very honest, today was not been the best. I struggled to fall asleep up until 1:30, but instead of staying in bed and trying to roll from one side to the other, as you can see in this video, I couldn't talk because otherwise I would have woken up my boyfriend, but I was trying to do what Matt said instead, do something else outside of the bedroom. So I just read a book and then went back to sleep after half an hour or so. So today I slept around 6 hours and a half, so not ideal. I don't feel super rested. I managed to exercise though, now work on YouTube, and hopefully tonight be with my boyfriend, so ticking off also being with loved ones and having enough energy for that. I'll keep you posted. It's 10:30, So it's basically time for me to start my wind down routine. I told you I'd keep you posted. So I managed to have enough energy to be with my boyfriend, cook a nice dinner for him, which is very rare. I usually don't cook even though I'm Italian. And to be honest, I feel like I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight, which is good. It seems like maybe this routine is really working. And even though you go to bed late sometimes, it's good to wake up at the same time every day so that, you know, when it's time to go to bed, then you're tired, then you can recoup the energy right away because you fall asleep in 2 seconds. I'll keep you posted again, but I think it's gonna work this way. Hello! I arrived at day 7 of the challenge. I cannot believe I made it. Main thing is because of waking up every day at the same time. It's been tough, to be honest, and very counterintuitive, especially when you go to bed late. But I made it. So let's see together the results. Let's start by seeing the energy level. So before I had 4, 3, 5, so an average of like 4 in terms of energy level. And after the challenge, today I score 8, but overall I would say it's around 6 on average. So it improved. Still don't feel the most energetic I can be, but it improved, which I'm very happy about. Then looking at the habit tracker for this week, I have managed to exercise 3 times a week, work on YouTube almost every day of the week, which is amazing, and then finally connect with my loved ones at least 4 times this week. So I'm super happy about that as well. I personally struggle sometimes with anxiety and lots of stress accumulated, and that's the reason I also opened this YouTube channel. I just wanted to help other people that have the same issues as me, just trying to, find ways to improve it, like trying this sleep challenge, or sometimes I just very nerdy and I go and search how can you improve your stress, how can you improve your anxiety. So I want to share what I learned along the way. But overall, I think it's super important, at least for me, to be less anxious and get out of my head, to connect with my loved ones, so being with friends, with family. And that's why for me it's so important to track it, because I want to ensure that I don't close myself off, because when you are stressed or very anxious, sometimes you tend to be very selfish and then you close yourself off. Now, going back to sleep and the challenge, the third thing that I wanted to check was my average sleep per night with my Apple Watch, and also the deep sleep amount that I sleep per night. So here are the results. This was my average before starting the challenge, and this was after finishing the challenge. There's been quite a change, right? And now checking my deep sleep time, before it was 49 and now it's 57. So I improved that as well, which is great. So I want to give you a couple of recommendations that work for me to do this challenge and complete it successfully. The first one being on regularity. Since Matthew says that you have to wake up every day at the same time, one thing that helped me was to sync my alarm with my smart light, so that when the time to wake up comes, my light turns on at the same time as my alarm. If you're interested in purchasing the smart light, I've added some recommendations down below in the description. The last tip from me that really helped me in starting the wind down routine: I tend to watch a lot of Netflix before going to bed, and usually I really don't want to stop what I'm watching to go and do my wind down routine without checking screens and so on and go to bed. So what I've done in this challenge is just choose episodes that I'm gonna watch that will end by the time I need to start getting ready for bed and starting my wind down routine. So there is a bit more friction that makes you say like, do I really want to play the next episode? I hope this video showed you that you can be even more productive when you had a good night's sleep, and when you implement a few tips based on science that will make you sleep like a baby. Also, sleep is so important for your mental health. Whenever you have energy, you can be more with your loved ones and you can be more keen to take care of yourself and your body, like exercise. I'm definitely going to continue most of these tips, maybe not the waking up at the same time every single day, but all the others definitely, because they really help me, and it feels so good to have the energy to do things that I love. How about you? Are you gonna try?